Well, I'm joined by the very talented Tom Day, an excellent Bristol-based journalist who writes about Bristol Rovers and about low league football more generally. We chatted last season, Tom. Glad to have you back on the pod. Tell us, to start off with, what are your expectations? What are Bristol Rovers fans' expectations more generally for this season?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's to get back to League One at the end of the day. I mean, we were sat here, well, not us personally, but Rovers fans saying this time last year, DC coming back, and I think everyone fancied it from there, and obviously that just didn't work out. But Steve Evans came in December, and we ended, I think, 14th, 8 wins in a row, and a draw to Notts County. So, I think there is real belief that we can do it, and it's nice to see rival fans back in Rovers, like across the board. Seen so many people put Rovers top. I mean, even I've put us second to Salford, but I mean, and then we've both lost on the opening day. So, but yeah, I think there is still confidence that we can do it. It's only one game in it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, county fans are very much on board with let's not get carried away one way or the other after one game. But I mean, we'll come to your opening day defeat in a moment. But yeah, I think most of us last season, after your terrible start, as soon as you appointed convicted fraudster Steve Evans, everyone just went, well, they're going to stay up then, and you did it very comfortably. And it feels as though you've recruited pretty well. I mean, you must be looking at that squad and going, the raw ingredients are there, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Kamwa off yourselves, obviously. Hasn't played as much as I certainly thought he would. I thought he was going to be a real kind of, I know statement signing sounds maybe a bit odd considering he didn't, get loads of goals, but it felt like one of those that, in a better team maybe, create a few more chances. He could be really prolific, have a really good season, but not quite seen that yet. But yeah, I mean, getting Tommy Lee back on loan, Barmer and Smallwood on permanent deals, and then some really good, higher league experience in like Ben Purrington, Tom James, some youngsters from higher up in the leagues as well. I mean, yeah, we haven't spent a penny either. Obviously, it was a fairly heavy January to stay up, but I mean, yeah, I don't think we will be spending a lot of money. I mean, it would be a surprise to see suddenly a few 100,000 spent on deadline day, but never rule it out, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess it's more about wages and getting the right players in than going out and spending big fees. But yeah, I think most of us have you and Salford down as amongst the favourites. I mean, in terms of Bobby Kamwa, I'm sure all Newport fans will say this. He's a scorer of big goals rather than a big scorer of goals, and there will be times when he blows hot and cold, but from your initial snatches that you've seen in pre-season and so on, I don't think he featured yesterday, but what have you made of him so far?
Yeah, I've really liked him. Against Peterborough though, he came on and played fairly central, which I just thought was a bit of a waste of what we were supposedly bringing on the pitch at that point. I mean, Steve Evans does like his narrow formations, and I've said quite a few times I don't particularly like them, and I do think some fans are kind of, agreeing with that point of view. I'm not saying it was ever an out there perspective, but after the Peterborough game, after yesterday, like you can see that we need another winger, be that to play with Kamwa. But yeah, we do clearly need another winger, and then I think we might see Kamwa more once we've got someone, to play with.
Definitely for us, he was at his best when he had someone complimenting him on the other side, because otherwise what we found is he started well with us, but then teams were kind of double marking him and he didn't get a touch. Whereas if you've got a threat on the other wing, then suddenly he gets a bit more space. So obviously County yesterday won 3-0 against one of the promoted teams, Rochdale. You were away at York, who won the conference last season, and you lost 3-2. So what went wrong? What happened?
I mean, we knew it was going to be tough. I sound like a manager now. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but yeah, exactly that. It is another one of the promotion fancied sides. Rovers fancy themselves to, in theory, finish above York come the end of the season. They lost their sacked, whatever, their manager. So Rovers' confidence grew a bit more. But I don't think there was ever a naivety that it was a guaranteed win. I mean, yeah, a cliche 3 sloppy goals where everyone's not quite tight enough or reacting quickly enough. And, if you watched on Sky, they were quite convinced that we should have conceded a penalty early on, which, yeah, possibly fair enough. So yeah, I mean, we could have lost by more as well. So yeah, I mean, just a few opening day errors, but yeah, it does need to get sharpened up, because yeah, you don't win a promotion with performances like that.
Yeah. So what needs to change then, I guess, between now and Saturday on the pitch, and what needs to change between now and the end of the window in terms of where the gaps are, I suppose? You know, what should be the things that County maybe are looking to exploit?
Yeah, I think there's been a clear weakness with us playing this narrow formation that, you know, I don't want to say people don't know where they're going, but, you know, it can obviously drag a centre mid out and then there's a space in the middle. Like, I think, you know, getting down the flanks from your perspective is an area to look at. I think both fullbacks have a big job on their hands in this formation. You know, obviously having to be the width both ways, but, you know, neither were exactly flawless on the weekend. Both had their faults, like I say, not quite picking up their man or being a little bit slow out. I think, I mean, we've got Tom James who can come in on the right if need be. Purrington is there. I don't think we need more fullbacks, despite that comment. Like I said, I do think it's. I just don't like this formation. Keenan Goff did sort of slot back in, and it did become a back three, back five at times, which is what we saw Evans use a lot at the end of last season. I do think that brings out the best in, well, almost everyone in a way, because Shaq Ford gets his little free roll in the 10, you know, and up front Fabrizio and Cavan and Joe Quigley, you know, really benefit off each other, which, all right, they both played together yesterday, but, you know, without the other parts all around them, it just doesn't quite feel that it works. So yeah, another winger is necessary. It's interesting to note, actually, that a lot of fans have been saying a right winger, and then Evans kind of noted that Kamwa would rather play on the right, apparently. So
you can play him on either. I mean, I think he played more games for us on the left than the right. But I mean, you know, as ever with a winger, he can either go outside and swing it in on one foot, or he can cut inside and get the shot away with his other. It just depends whether you would rather him play with his best foot for crossing or his best foot for shooting. But, you know, either way, he can do it on his day. So, yeah, I mean, you've got some flexibility there, I suppose. I'll push you for a score prediction then, Tom. What's going to happen on Saturday?
Before, I probably would have said 2-0, nothing flashy, but getting the job done. I'll give you a goal now and say 2-1, but I'd like to. I'll give us a bit of home confidence and to get things back on track.
And who's scoring for you? Who should we be looking out for?
It was a surprise to see Tommy Lee take the penalty on the weekend. I will say Fabrizio Cavan, though, at least for one, and assuming Tommy Lee starts, he's always good for a goal. I quite like.
There we go. Well, we will look forward, doubtless, to catching up with you later on in the season, Tom. But yeah, thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.